In today's session, we're going to be working on a strong core, so strong abdominal muscles. I'm going to be doing quite a lot of that on the floor in the second half of the practice, but we're also going to be including that in our standing sequence as we go through our Sun Salutations to warm up our body. If you have any pain at any point, if you feel any pain, then please stop, come out of the pose that is causing you pain, and either do another pose. You could always wait in child's pose or wait for us in child's pose, and if you don't like it, skip it or do a pose that you prefer. Prop-wise, we'll be maybe needing a belt for a balance, and you also might want to have a block. We'll actually be using that on the floor through for our core work. If you don't have a belt, a yoga belt, you could just use the belt of a bathrobe, a scarf, a towel, a t-shirt for the core work. If you don't have a block, then you can just do it without it. Yeah, and as always, just have fun, enjoy the practice. I'm giving you suggestions, but you move how it feels good to you, and hope you enjoy it. Okay, we're going to start in child's pose. So if you want to be in child's pose, maybe, I quite like doing child's pose with my knees slightly separated, but if you prefer it with your knees together, you can do that as well. And it can be quite nice having a block ready quite early to put that under your forehead so you're not dropping too deep. That might be a bit too much for this early in the session. Obviously totally up to you. And let's do extended child's pose with our arms out in front of us. Let's breathe here. So maybe take one deep breath in through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. Maybe with a sigh if you want. Let's do that one more time. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Now let's try to, if we can, inhale and exhale through the nose. Let's try to stick with this for the whole session. Feeling how our abdomen expands with the inhale, pressing against our thighs, our back, our chest lifting a little bit maybe. And then the exhale, our tummy moves in, belly button towards the spine, we're sinking deeper. Breathing in, fully filling our lungs with air, with oxygen. Breathing out, exhaling completely. Breathing in your own rhythm. And as you slow down your breath here, feel how you're slowing down your mind. Slowly breathing, leaving everything that has happened so far, this morning, this week, behind us. Trying to let go of anything that is going to come later today. Any plans that you have, anything that's coming up later on in the week, next week. Let's just try and be present here. Noticing how your body feels, maybe scanning through your body, starting from the head, or maybe even from the fingertips as they're out in front of us, down the arms, to the head, back, chest. Just noting how your body feels, if there's any discomfort, or any feeling of ease, relaxation particularly. Just noting your body, familiarizing yourself with your body. We're not judging, we're not saying, oh, that's not right, that shouldn't feel that way, but just noting and accepting what it feels like. A few more breaths here. Let's deepen our breath here, coming back to this moment. Deep inhale, and let's sigh on the exhale again, exhaling through the mouth. One more deep inhale, and sigh as we exhale through the mouth. Let's bring our hands under our shoulders and push up to kneeling. Lovely, wonderful. Hope we're feeling a bit calmer. Let's come into a tabletop, just into a gentle tabletop here at first. We're going to wake up our wrists. We haven't done this in a little while, but I think I really need it. I don't know how you feel. So we're going to bring our hands under our shoulders, about shoulder width apart, and we're going to rock forward and back, forward and back. And doing that as gently as you want, making the movement as big as you want or as small as you want. Maybe almost pushing into a child's pose, and if you move forward, just getting our wrists used to having some weight in them. Let's do 2 more of these. And we're coming back in center. We're going to turn our hands in, both hands at the same time. So we're turning our hands in so that our thumbs are now pointing to the outside edge of our mat. Our fingers are pointing to our knees. And we're bringing the palms down. We're spreading the fingers wide. And here, the closer your hands are to your knees, the less intense it is going to feel. So see where you are today. And again, we're going to rock very gently here. This is going to feel a lot more intense, stretching the inside of our forearms. And you can experiment with whether you want to lift the balls of your hands off the mat or whether you want to keep pressing them in. Lifting them off the mat will allow you to move back a little further. Keeping them on the mat will mean that you're probably not going to move as far back. Just depends on how you're feeling today, what you prefer. Don't hurt yourself, be very gentle. And let's do 2 more here as well. Okay, let's come back to center. We're going to turn our hands back around to the natural position. Stay here for 1 moment. And now we're going to do 1 hand at a time. Place the back of the hand on the mat. Our thumbs are now pointing to the inside of the mat. Fingers are pointing to us, palm is facing us, and we're doing this 1 hand at a time and really gently rocking here. Now stretching the outside of that forearm, outside of the wrist, back of the hand. Very gently, do not hurt yourself, we're just trying to stretch. Let's do 2 more here as well. And coming back to center, we're placing that hand back into the natural position. Let's wait here for 1 sec, just to readjust that hand. Do the same thing on the other side. So back of the hand on the mat, thumb pointing inwards, finger pointing to us, finger spread nice and wide, palms facing us, and we're rocking here. Again, as big or as small. If you bring your hand closer to your knees, the stretch will be less intense. Don't hurt yourself, be gentle, and let's do 2 more rocks here. Okay, coming to center. Turning the hand back around 1 moment. in the natural position. Let's kneel and let's shake our hands out. Shake them like you've got water on them and you're trying to shake water off them. Lovely. Alright, stop and let's stretch our arms out in front of us. Let's make circles. Let's make 5 circles either direction, so you can start circling in or out. I'm done with my 5, so I'm going in the other direction. But do it in your own time. I think that was 5. Okay, great. And now spread our fingers wide, super wide, and then we close them. Spreading them wide, making a fist. Spreading them wide, making a fist. Spreading them wide, making a fist. One more time wide, one more time fist. Lovely. Great. We're coming into tabletop again, and we're setting ourselves up for cat-cow. So our hands are under our shoulders, wrists, elbows and shoulders are stacked on top of each other. Fingers are spread nice and wide, middle fingers pointing forward. Knees are hip width apart, toes are pointing back. You could also flex them, but I quite like to point them, find that more comfortable. And we're going to inhale and we're arching our spine, pulling the belly button towards the ground, and we're looking up. Exhale, we're pushing the ground away, we're rounding the spine, chin to chest. Inhale into cow, arching the spine, we're bringing our shoulder blades together, we're looking up here. Exhale as we're pushing the ground away, we're pulling the shoulder blades apart as we tuck our chin, and we're also engaging our core, sucking our belly in. On the inhale, we're looking up in our cow, really arching the spine excessively almost. Looking up, feeling the stretch in your throat. Exhale, we're pushing the ground away. Shoulder blades pulling apart, chin to chest, tucking our pelvis a little, sucking our belly in. Inhale, we're coming into our cow. Shoulder blades together. Maybe bending the elbows tiny bit if you like that. Looking up. Exhale, pushing the ground away, really pushing into the hands as we suck our belly in, making ourselves round. One more. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. And at the end of the exhale, coming to a neutral spine. Lovely. Okay, we're going to tuck our toes and we're going to lift our knees off the ground, but just hovering here, engaging our core. We're going to stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're lowering our knees again. Maybe coming into a cow, looking up. Exhale, neutral spine. We're doing the same thing again. Lifting our knees off the ground, maybe an inch, 5 centimeters. We're staying here for 5, engaging our core. 4, 3, 2, 1. We're lowering down, untucking the toes. You can either come into a cow or you could also push into a brief child's pose. And coming back into our tabletop, tucking the toes, lifting the knees again, that inch off the ground. We're going to stay for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and on 5 we're pushing into our hands and we're coming to the first down dog of today. In our down dog, so we've come from our tabletop, and this is pretty good alignment, I think. Our hands are staying shoulder width apart, we're not moving our hands, thumbs are pointing forward. Feet are hip width apart, toes are pointing forward, and we want to pull our shoulders slightly away from the ears. You don't want to hunch your shoulders up. You want to maybe pull your shoulder blades slightly apart. You're pressing through the whole palm here as well. Not just the ball of the hand, but also where the fingers meet the hand, the palm, and the knuckles of the fingers, protecting our wrists. We're engaging our core here. We're having a flat back. If that means that you need to bend your knees, that is totally fine. Flat back is more important than straight legs. We're also aiming to pull the heels of our feet towards the mat. That doesn't mean that you need to touch the heels to the mat. What it means is that
by thinking of doing that, you're activating your calves, calf muscles, and stretching the hamstrings as well. Let's stay here for 1 or 2 breaths, noting how this down dog feels so that we know what we do as we go through our sun salutations. Okay, now with baby steps, we're walking our feet towards our hands. We're stopping, feet hip width apart, behind the hands, about a foot length, hand length behind. Good to just hang here for a moment. You can, if you want, grab opposite elbows so that your hands are not in touch with the ground, making gravity, sort of making yourself heavier on the upper body so that stretch, gravity helps you to stretch at the back of your legs, the hamstrings. Stay for 1 more breath, and if you want, you can keep hold of your elbows and sway from side to side. If you prefer, you could let go of your elbows and drag your fingers over the mat, imagining that you're drawing a rainbow with your fingertips. Maybe bending one knee slightly as you sway from one side to the other. A bit of mobility in the knees, waking up our back. Coming to center now. Bending our knees until our belly and our chest are in touch with our thighs. We're tucking our chin to our chest and we're rolling up slowly, slowly. Chest is coming off the thighs, straightening our legs. Slowly coming up through our upper body. Standing up, the last thing that lifts is the chin of the chest. Wonderful, lovely. What I want to do first, so we're going to work on our core, and I've already mentioned that earlier when we're lifting our knees off the floor to engage our core. And let's just stand here for a moment, placing our hands on our belly and just engage our core with our mind, I guess. Just engaging our abdominal muscles and feeling what that feels like. It's really solid. Feel your abdominal muscles letting go. Belly's a bit more soft. Engaging our core again. Really solid. Letting go. Let's do that one more time. Engaging our core and letting go. And that's when we move through forward folds and we go from standing to down. Or when I say engage your core to protect your back, you can feel how you get really nice and solid in the middle. And then by doing that, you make yourself secure in the middle and the back. Okay, let's move to our first sun salutation. Coming into the Tadasana, so our feet are on the mat, lifting our toes off the ground, spreading the toes wide, lowering one at a time, starting with the little toes, fourth toe, middle toe, second toe, big toe. If you want, you could raise your heels off the ground. Oh man, sorry. Stopwatch. Okay, lift your heels off the ground. You could also do this with your feet hip width apart. We're engaging our pelvic floor, perineum, also engaging our core. So we're already creating a bit of stability here. Rolling the shoulders up, back and down, shoulder blades together in the back. By doing that, we're opening our chest and that will encourage our palms to face forward. Standing nice and tall, as if someone's pulling us by the top of the hat, but also tucking our chin ever so slightly to have a nice flat neck. Let's stay for one breath. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale, we're raising our arms up. Exhale, we're engaging that core, protecting our back, and we're coming down into a forward fold. Hands either side of the feet, bending the knees if you have to, full forward fold. We want to bring our forehead towards our shins. Inhale, palms to shins, looking down. Exhale, hands down. We're stepping back with the right foot, followed by the left foot. We're coming into plank. We're working our core, so let's stay in plank for 3 breaths. Pushing our hands into the ground, pulling our heels back, pulling our shoulder blades slightly apart, so we're creating length, space between our shoulders and length in the body. One more breath here. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, with the next exhale, we're lowering knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale, we're moving forward into cobra and tucking the toes, elbows into the body. And here we're also engaging our core, lifting our chest. Exhale, tucking the toes, we're pushing back into down dog. Maybe stepping our feet in a little bit. I quite like to do that. Pushing into our hands, engaging the core, looking towards the feet. Staying for 3 breaths. And with the next inhale, we're lifting our right foot off the mat. We're coming into a 3-legged dog. Don't lift too high so that your hip opens to the side. Just lifting so that our leg is in the air. Let's stay here for another 2 breaths. By being in this pose, we have to engage our core to keep that weight of our left leg in the air. 1 more breath. Inhale, exhale. And with the next exhale, we're tapping our toe behind us of that straight leg. We're lowering it, not in wild thing, but we're just tapping it behind us, sort of in a down dog motion, like this. And then we're lifting it up on the inhale. Exhale, we're lowering the tiptoes behind us. Inhale, we're lowering lifting the leg. Exhale, we're lowering the leg again. Inhale, we're lifting, and exhale, we're stepping that foot between our hands. Lovely, well done. And following with the left foot next to the right. Inhale, hands to shins, we're looking down. Exhale, fall forward, fold, hands by the side of feet, maybe bending the knees. Inhale, we're engaging our core here again as we come up. Exhale, hands into heart center. Lovely. Other side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, folding down. Hands other side of feet, fold forward, fold. Inhale, hands to shins, fold forward, fold. Exhale, hands down. We're stepping back with the left foot, followed by the right foot. Into plank. We're staying in plank for a few breaths again. Pulling those heels back, shoulder blades pushing apart, pushing into the hands. Breathing here for another 2. Gauging our core. Inhale and exhale, knees down, chest down, chin down. Inhale, we're sliding forward, cobra. And pointing the toes, elbows into the body, looking forward. Exhale, pushing into those feet, coming into a downward dog. Maybe stepping those feet in again, stay for 3. Pushing into the hands, maybe being able to straighten our legs a little bit more, maybe the heels are coming closer. And we're inhaling and we're lifting the left leg up, coming into a 3-legged dog. Very nice. We're staying here for 3 breaths. Pushing into the hands, and as we're coming into a 3-legged dog, maybe the standing leg, you'll get the heel in touch with the ground. And with the next exhale, we're tapping those tiptoes behind us. Nice long leg. And inhale, we're lifting again. Lovely, controlled. Exhale, we're tapping our toes. Inhale, we're lifting. Exhale, we're tapping our toes. Inhale, we're lifting. And with the next exhale, we're stepping the left foot between our hands, followed by the right. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, full forward fold. Inhale, engaging the core, and we're coming up. Exhale, hands into heart center. Lovely. Have a quick look what's coming next. Boop, boop. Okay, cool. Alright, standing here and inhale, our arms come up. Exhale, we're folding down, engaging the core as we fold. Full forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Hands to shins or maybe fingertips to mat, to the ground if your hamstrings are warm enough. Hands down. Exhale, stepping into a lunge. Stay in this lunge for a moment. Stepping back with the right, sorry. Okay, and inhale, we're coming up. We're going to place our hands in heart center in prayer. And we're going to challenge our balance a little bit. If you wobble, that's totally fine. What I want us to do is I want us to lower our chest, sort of to touch our thigh, and then we're engaging our core and we're coming up. So we're kind of doing standing crunches here. Exhale, we're lower. Inhale, we're coming up. Exhale, we're lower. Inhale, we're coming up. 2 more. Exhale, we're lower. Inhale, we're coming up. Exhale, we're lower. Inhale, we're coming up. Lovely. And now we're inhaling our arms up. Exhale, hands either side of the front foot, the left foot. We're stepping back into plank. Stay in a plank for 3 breaths. Pushing into our hands, shoulder blades apart, shoulders away from the ears. Heels are pulling back. Engaging our core. Okay, exhale, knees down, chest down, chin down. Inhale, we're sliding forward. Exhale, we're tucking our toes and we're pushing back, stepping our feet in a little bit. We're breathing here. 4, 3. And the next inhale, we're lifting that right leg up again into our 3-legged dog, and we're doing what we've already done. Here, breathing here for 2. Pushing that heel of the left foot maybe to the ground. If you don't get it to the ground, that's also fine. And now, exhale, we're tapping those toes behind us. Nice, straight, long leg. Inhale, we're lifting the right leg. Exhale, we're tapping the right toes. Inhale, we're lifting. Exhale, we're tapping, really nice. Inhale, we're lifting. And exhale, we're stepping the right foot between our hands. Followed by the left. Inhale, half forward fold, hands to shins or fingertips to mat. Exhale, full forward fold. Maybe getting our legs a little straighter every time. Inhale, engaging the core and we're coming up. Exhale, hands into heart center. Same thing on the other side. 1 breath here. And inhale, arms up. Exhale, we're falling down, engaging the core. Forward, forward, fold. Inhale, half forward fold, fingertips to mat or hands to shins. Exhale, stepping back with the left foot now. We're staying in this low lunge for a moment. Inhale, exhale here. And with the next inhale, let's come up into a high lunge, maybe getting a bit of a wobble. Hands into heart center. And we're going to do the same thing we just did on the other side. So, exhale, we're lowering our chest so that it maybe touches the thigh. Inhale, engaging the core, we're coming up. Exhale, folding down, straight back. Inhale, we're coming up. Exhale, straight back, engaging our core, feel how it works on the way down. And inhale, on the way up. 2 more, really nice. Exhale, we're coming down. Inhale, we're coming up. 1 more. Exhale, down. Looking a little in front of us for this. Inhale, up. And we're going to raise our arms. Inhale. Exhale, hands either side of the front foot, stepping into a plank. Staying in plank for 3. Okay, with the next exhale, knees down, chest down, chin down. Inhale, we're sliding forward. Cobra. Exhale, we're pushing back into a downward dog, maybe stepping the feet in a little, pushing into the hands, shoulders away from the ears, shoulder blades pulling apart, looking to the space between our big toes. Flat back. Breathing here. Taking this chance of being a downward dog to reconnect with our breath, in and out through the nose. And with the next inhale, we're lifting our left leg off the ground into a 3-legged dog. Breathing here for 2. Okay. And with the next exhale, we're tapping those toes behind us, nice straight leg. And inhale, legs coming up, engaging, working our abdominal muscles. Exhale, tapping that toe. Inhale, lifting the leg. Exhale, tap. Inhale, lift. And with the next exhale, we're stepping the left foot in between our hands, followed by the right. Inhale, half forward fold, hands to shins, fingertips to mat. Exhale, full forward fold. Inhale, engaging the core, and we're coming up. Exhale, hands into heart center. Lovely. I'm really warm. I don't know about you. Maybe it's the weather. Let me quick think what we're doing next. Let's take it from the front of the mat, and we're stepping back about halfway through down the mat. We're stepping back with the other side, with the right foot first, and the toes are pointing of the right foot pointing towards the top corner of your mat. We're going to start, want our body nice and flat, and we're going to start with a triangle pose. So we're going to raise our arms at shoulder level, reaching forward as far as you can, and instead of what we normally do and folding down, we're actually going to stay up here. You can place your top hand, your right hand on your right hip, and we're just going to work our core by staying in this reaching pose. You can look to the ground, look to the front hand, whatever's comfortable. Just going to stay here, engaging our middle and feeling how at some point our abdominals are starting to work. Also our shoulder is working by reaching that arm out. If you're finding that uncomfortable, you can also bring the other hand on your hip or on your thigh. On your hip is a bit better because then your abs are still working. I'm definitely starting to feel it now. So let's start. Try stay here for another 2 breaths. If you're done, come out. Okay. The next inhale, we're going to come up gently. Lovely. Let's shake our shoulders. That works the shoulder as well. Okay. Let's now from here bring our hips to face the front of our mat. We're going to stay here, bring our hips onto our hands onto our hips. We're going to come into triangle pose, Parsvottanasana, and you can bring your hands on the floor, or maybe on your shin, or maybe on your thigh. Let's just stay here for a moment, pulling the hip of the straight leg, so the left leg for me back, and the hip of the back leg, so the right leg forward. So we're trying to square our hips here. Staying here. What you could also do here, if you wanted to, bring your hands into heart center and stay here by having your chest parallel to the ground. You're also working your abs here, your back muscles. Really nice. Okay, with the next inhale, we're coming up, nice flat back. And we're stepping forward. Let's shake our body out a little bit. Releasing. Okay, we're doing the same thing on the other side. So stepping back about halfway down the mat, toes are pointing to the front corner of the mat. We're going to start in our variation of triangle pose. So we're going to inhale, raise our arms. Exhale, someone's pulling us back. We'll step back with the left now, the opposite foot. And instead of folding down, we're staying up here. Hand on your hip of the left hand on the left hip. We're staying here, reaching with that right arm. You can look out in front of you or on the straight at the right hand. Trying to keep your body, your chest sort of parallel. Really nice. Stay for 2 more breaths. Okay, with
inhale, we're coming up. Let's roll our shoulders here. Exactly, do whatever you need. And now we're going to come into our triangle pose. So if you want, you could also move your front foot, the right foot, a bit to the outside, if that can make it easier to square your hips. But if you don't want to or don't need to, that's fine. And we're going to come down, and you can either place your hands on the floor, on your calf, on your thigh, whatever's available to you. We're staying here for a few breaths. Or you could also bring your hands into heart center again, letting go. And by needing to engaging our core here, and by needing to keep our chest level, parallel to the ground without any support from the hands, resting any weight on the hands, we're working our core a bit harder. Breathing here. Okay, and inhale, coming up, nice flat back, and we're stepping forward. Let's shake our body out again. Okay, we're coming to our balance. And for a balance, I'll show you what I want to do. We'll see how well my balance works today. You might want a belt. I'll show you how to use it. And if you're using the belt, it's probably best if you sort of flip it around you. We're going to start in tree. I might just move my mat back a little so I can stand. With all balances, if you're standing on solid ground, that makes it a lot easier. We're starting in tree. Then we're staying here for a few breaths. Then we release that foot. We let go. We're going to try to come into a warrior 3. And then from here, going to try and come into a hand to big toe pose. And if you can't grab your big toe, you can either hold on to your knee, or that's where the belt on your shoulder would come in. Make a loop with it and hold on here. Okie dokie. So now we know what's coming. I'll put that belt on my shoulder and we're going to stand. We're standing on the left. Let's spread our toes on the left wide, lowering them one at a time, maybe lifting the heel. One really nice firm grounding. What can also help a little bit as you start to get into your balances is like sort of a micro bend in your knee. So if you see a bit better here. So if this is like a super straight leg, and then you bend it a teeny tiny bit just to make it softer, and just having that softness in the knee can help, because it's a bit like, I guess, a bit of a buffer. Okay, so let's, with the help of you can either for tree put your foot on the ground to have the sole of your foot against your calf, or probably with the help of your hand against your inner thigh. But whatever you do, definitely don't put it on the knee, because that's not great for your knee. We're staying here, hands in heart center. Staying here 4, 5. Find a spot on the ground or on the wall that doesn't move. Ideally not me, because I might wobble. By finding that spot and focusing on that, that really helps with your balance. Stay for 2 more breaths. Okay, now let's let go of that contact between our foot and our thigh. I'm going to try and come out, straight leg, hips are pointing, both hip bones are pointing to the ground, lowering our chest so that it's parallel to the floor. Stay here for 3, 2, 1. Okay, and now we're trying to bring that leg forward, and either holding onto the knee, oh dear God, or grabbing the toe and stretching that leg out. Oh dear. We're staying here for another 3 breaths. If your foot is killing you at any point, you can come out, shake it out, get back in. And coming out, maybe a bit more elegant than what I just did.
That's also fine if we just flop. Okay, other side. So right foot, spreading the toes, lowering them one at a time, maybe lifting the heel, nice firm grounding. I'm going to bring the, again, tree on the right now, so either foot on the floor, heel of the ankle, on the calf, or inner thigh, whatever you want to do. And we're staying here 4, 5 breaths. Finding that focus point, that drishti, just concentrate on. You might feel that foot that is pressing against the thigh now. Maybe that's feeling a bit more working the muscles because we're just standing on it. Okay, let's let go of that contact. Stretching that leg out behind us. Out behind us. Straight leg, chest parallel to the ground, hips facing the floor. We're staying for 3, 2, and 1. And now we're trying, maybe bending that standing leg a bit. If you have to touch your foot down, that's totally fine. Coming to either knee, hand on knee, or here, if you had your belt, loop it around your foot or big toe. I'm staying here for 3. And we're coming out. Let's shake our feet out. Definitely felt like my feet there. And moving our belt to the side. We're coming to the floor. So let's just sit down, just take it easy. Easily sitting down. Hopefully have some water if you want. And yeah, so we are going to get our block ready if you have a block. If you don't have a block, don't worry. A book won't really work for that if you're using a book instead of a block as a prop. And what we're going to start with is we're going to do Navasana, boat pose. So I'll show you a couple of options. So you can either just sit here, engaging your core, sitting up nice and tall. Could rock back, lifting your feet parallel, having your hands behind you. Could bring your hands behind your knees. Could straighten your legs. Could also let go, either with straight legs or with bent knees. I'm going to stay here for, let's stay here for 3. Nice flat back, engaging our core. This also works our hip flexor muscles. Okay, I'm coming down. We're going to do that twice more. Little hug in between. Now coming back to whatever option you wanted to do. And the main thing is, especially if you're straightening your legs and you're letting go, if that means that you're collapsing in the back, then just, it's better to do the previous option, because collapsing in the back means that your abdominal muscles aren't engaged anymore. So let's do this for another 3. Looking towards your big toes maybe. Okay, bringing the feet down, giving yourself a hug. Doing that one more time. Whatever option you're doing. You can try and challenge yourself if you want. It's okay to not challenge yourself as well. 2 more. Okay, bring the feet down, hugging our knees. I'm going to bring our feet hip width apart, knees are bent, and we're coming down. We're going to do a little bridge here in between, releasing the core but also working it at the same time. We're stepping our feet in as close as we can get them to our bottom. Feet hip width apart, knees hip width apart, arms either side of our body, and we're going to push up and staying here, pushing our glutes off the ground, arms either side of the body, palms into the hands. We're staying here for 3 breaths. Okay, and now we're rolling down gently, coming down upper back, middle back, lower back, hugging our knees into our chest briefly. Now hands behind our knees. Let's rock up to seated. Really nice. And we're doing another round of Navasana. Let me just check what we're doing. Okay. We are taking our block. Actually here, if you have a book, that still works. And we're putting it, we've got our knees bent, and putting it in front of our feet. And what I want us to do now, here, place your hands behind you, everyone, so that we're sitting like that. We're straightening our legs out. And I want us to do this, lifting our legs and tapping them either side, and we're going over that block. But here it's good, it's really, I think, a lot more safe to have your hands behind you. We're stretching our legs out in the air. If you don't want to do this, you could also do it with your bent knees and do it like that. For straight legs, and we're going to tap to the, whatever side you want. I'm tapping to the left, lifting, tapping to the other side, lifting, tapping to the other side, lifting, tap, lift, tap, lift, tap, lift. Great job. Tap, lift, tap, lift. One more time either side. Tap, lift, tap, lift. Bring our feet down, giving ourselves a nice big hug. Well done, everyone. Bring that block to the side. We're coming back onto our backs for another little bridge. Feet hip width apart, feet as close to our glutes as we can. Arms either side of our bodies, palms into the ground. And we inhale, we're lifting our glutes off the ground. Hips towards the ceiling, chin to chest. Really now staying here for 3 breaths. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, pushing into those feet. That will make your back a bit more curled. And on next exhale, coming down first the upper back, middle back, lower back, and down. And we're bringing our hands, we're hugging our knees into our body for one moment. Hands behind the knees, and we're rocking up to seated again. One more Navasana variation play. We're bringing our, if you have a block, use the block. If you don't have a block, do it without a block. We're bringing the block between our feet, and we're holding it between our feet. We're like this. So the block is between our feet, we're holding it there, and then we're going to tap again if you want to do that. If you don't have a block, you're doing it without the block. So it's pretty much what we just did. But with the block, because you're sort of pushing between the feet, I find that works a little bit harder. Doing one more. And let's do one more either side. And letting go of the block if you had it between your feet. Hugging your knees into your chest. We're done with the block now, you can put that to the side. Doing one more bridge here as well. Lying on our backs, arms out of the body, feet as close in as you can, feet hip width apart. Inhale, we're lifting our hips, pushing into the feet, rounding through the spine, chest to chin, hip to the ceiling. Staying here for 3 breaths. And on the next exhale, we're lowering down through the upper back, middle back, lower back. We're hugging our knees into our chest, maybe rocking from side to side, massaging our lower back. Coming into center. We're bringing our arms either side of our body. Our feet, our knees are bent, and so it's like a, I don't know, a bit like a kind of tabletop. Like you could rest something on your shins. Perfect. And what we're going to do now is we're going to tap our toes to the mat, 1 foot at a time at first. You can have your hands actually on your belly as well to make sure you're engaging your core. That's quite nice. And we're going to start with the right foot, and we're tapping it down, lifting it up, tapping the left, lifting it up, tapping the right, lifting it up, tapping the left, lifting it up, tap, lift, tap, lift. Feel how, as you tap and lift, your abdominal muscles are responding by having your hands on them, if you can feel that. It's okay if you can't. And let's do a few more. Tap, lift, tap, lift. If at any point you don't like this, you want to stop, definitely stop. It's your body. 2 more either side. Okay, as we're back in center, let's hug our knees into our chest, rocking gently from side to side. And coming back to center, stillness. Doing the same thing again, so our legs are stacked up like that, shins are parallel to the floor. And now, if you can, if you want, try to tap both feet at the same time. You can either have your feet hip width apart or to touch. That's, I think, personal preference. And lowering down and being really, really controlled, really gentle, and lifting up. And ideally you want the gap in your lower back not to, if you want to close that so that your lower back is in touch with the ground. That way you know your abs are working and you're not hurting your back. Really gently tapping and lifting, really nice. I'm going to try and do 10 of these each. So everyone's doing 10, sorry. So obviously if you're done before 10, stop and do it in your own pace. I think I'm at 5 now. And really making sure that your back stays safe by engaging those abs, working those abs. For me, it's the final 2. If you're there already, that's totally fine. Or if you're doing it slower, that's also great. Okay, once you're done, hug your knees into your chest. Rocking from side to side. Okay, what I want us to do now is as we hug and rock, once you get to the right, drop your knees to the right. Left arm out to the side, like a capital T, left arm at shoulder level. You could stretch your right arm out to the side as well, or you could place the right hand on the left thigh to encourage that twist a little more. You want to try to maybe have the left shoulder in touch with the ground. Left palm facing up. We're looking towards the left and we're closing our eyes. We're staying in this twist, releasing our back, releasing our abdominals as well. Stay for a few breaths, slowing down our practice. Okay, so next inhale, we're going to bring our legs into center, and then we're dropping them to the right. Right arm is, I've got the wall in my way, but right arm is stretched out at, if you can, at shoulder level. Your left hand, your left arm could also be stretched out if you wanted to, or on your right thigh, right glutes, just above the knee. Encourage that twist. Right shoulder should ideally be in touch with the ground. And we're looking over to the right, sorry. Right palm is facing the ceiling and we're closing our eyes here. And staying for a few breaths. Looking really nice there, guys. Let's bring our knees into center, into the body. Giving ourselves one final hug here. Hugging our knees into our chest, trying to have a nice flat back. And maybe now, if you want, you could come into a happy baby pose. For happy baby, we're opening our legs, we're bending the knees, we're either holding our calf, our ankle, or the outside of the foot, and if we're holding the outside of the foot, the arms are going along the inside of the knee, and then holding the outside. We're pulling our thighs into our chest, feet are flexed as if we're standing, as if we're standing on the floor, and we're pulling us in. Really nice. And if you want, you could rock from side to side. A little playful happy baby here. Pulling us into this pose. Okay, letting go of our feet. Stretching our legs out. And coming into a Shavasana for a final relaxation. Feet are hip to mat width apart, or even wider, whatever feels good. Arms are alongside your body, palms are facing up. Hands are, I don't know, like 3 inches, 15 centimeters away from your hips. Your chin again is slightly tucked, nice flat neck. Shoulders are broad and in touch with the ground. Take an inhale here through the nose, nice big inhale, filling our lungs until we can't fill them anymore. And then sigh on the exhale. By sighing, letting go of any final tension or holding muscle activation, holding on to anything. slowly arrive back on your mat. Nice deep inhale. And maybe sigh on the exhale. Bring some movement into your body, with your wrists and ankles, fingers and toes. Bring your arms overhead. Bring your legs together and have a nice full body stretch. Reaching your fingers as far as you can, pointing your toes and releasing. Now we're going to hug our knees into our chest, maybe rocking gently from side to side again, one final little massage on our back. And then when we're on the right, we're dropping over on the right. Head on the right upper arm, left hand in front of our chest. Inhale, on the exhale, we're pushing into that left hand. We're gently, safely coming to seated. Sitting, comfortable position, can be easy cross-legged or kneeling. Just close our eyes for a moment, sitting here, sitting upright. Inhaling through the nose and maybe one more sigh out the mouth. Opening the eyes, let's do inhale, big circle with our arms. And exhale, pulling our hands down and in. And we're going to bring our thumbs to the space between our eyebrows, the third eye, for clear and kind thoughts. Thumbs to our throat for clear and kind words. Thumbs to our heart for clear and kind feelings. And we bow, if we want, with a gratitude to the practice of yoga and gratitude to ourselves for moving today. Thank you so much for being here with me. Thank you.